Hey everybody, how's it going? It's the Fantasy Wizards podcast. Wands up, baby. Let's go with I hope you enjoyed that Toy Story game on Disney Plus. That was pretty cool. The kids enjoyed it. Had some technical difficulties starting the game, but they got it figured out most of the way. So it was pretty cool to see. It's kind of like watching like Madden update for all the games. A simulation of Madden in Andy's room. So it was pretty cool. Let's start out with some big news. Jimmy Garoppolo's out with a concussion. So essentially, Aiden O'Connell gets a start, surprisingly, over Brian Hoyer. He was good for Purdue in college. I think you don't downgrade any of your receiving options too much, but just know it's probably going to be growing pains to start the game. Hopefully they don't get too much of a negative game script to where it really doesn't matter. You want them to at least have some motivation throughout the game to score. I see an uptick in touches for Josh Jacobs. I think he's got a great matchup this week, so you kind of like to see that if you have Josh Jacobs, but don't worry too much. And if you want to take Jacoby Myers out of your starting lineup, I could see it if you have better pivoting options. So then the next starting quarterback that'll be different this week because Deshaun Watson is inactive is Dorian Thompson-Robinson. So DTR is going to get the nod. He did great this offseason or this preseason. I think he could be somebody you definitely play in daily fantasy. He'll have a lower percentage owned, give you that advantage. But as far as, fantasy, it doesn't really do much. I think he showed that he's pretty good. Obviously, he hasn't practiced with the ones, but you're going to see him get a lot of rushing. He's gonna be someone who likes to scramble a lot. So, which isn't too much different from Deshaun, but I see more scrambling ability since he's so young and, new to the NFL. I would definitely put him, some of your receiving options a little bit lower as expectations. I could see not starting Elijah Moore as well, definitely David Njoku is a sit for sure. And then maybe some uptick in touches and drop-offs to Jerome Ford. For those Jerome Ford owners that might not have had him in your lineup, had him out this week, or maybe you're worried about flexing him, put him in your lineup. I think he does great this week. So let's run down all the injuries and people out and in. So Justice Hill will be active this week. Gus Edwards will be inactive. So if you are needing a running back, Justice Hill, you could do a lot worse. But, he should get a good amount of touches this week. Odell Beckham Jr. is out, so Nelson Aguilar benefits most from this. I do see him doing okay this week, but I still wouldn't have Nelson Aguilar in your lineup. Rashad Bateman's out, so, really I think the pass catchers, Mark Andrews and Zay Flowers, are going to definitely see some uptick this week more than normal, but I wouldn't worry too much. It's going to be a bad matchup. I just see Zay Flowers doing well. But again, if you don't have a pivot option or backup tight end, Mark Andrews is just going to be in your lineup, so adjust your rosters accordingly. Jonathan Mingo's out, not a big deal. Miles Sanders is in, so you can drop Chuba Hubbard if you've been holding him this week. I think Miles Sanders is just an okay start. If you have him, you can, but I wouldn't do it. Chase Claypool is inactive, so really that just helps out E. St. Brown, Amon-Ra's brother. I'm not even going to attempt his name, Equanimous. But honestly, he's going to see the field for the first time, so I'm not worried about him. Justin Fields just going to have a tougher matchup or tougher day to deal with. So obviously David Njoku's active, but you don't want to start him. Deshaun Watson, we already talked to him about being out. Tyler Higbee's active. Savon Ahmed is active. So Devon A-Chain owners, you put him in, you're going to put up and shut up and put him in your lineup, but don't expect another 50-point game. I wouldn't even expect 10 points out of him this week. Hopefully you get a low floor. Derek Carr is active. This last-minute decision affects Jameis Wilson. He still might have to step in, but Carr will start. So we'll see what happens. He's going to just try to push it to the limit, which is cool with me. Keeps Olave a little more up. Hey, buddy. I'm talking to the internet. You want to come see him? Okay. My son's going to announce the next two. Can you say? Yeah. You want to say Treylon Burks is out? Say Treylon Burks is out.
Treylon Burks is out.
Yep, he's out this week. And Marquise Hollywood-Brown is questionable, so if you're flexing him, just be careful. Say, be careful, everybody.
Be careful, everybody.
Yeah. Austin Eckler is doubtful. Expect Josh Kelly to be the primary back this week. I wouldn't even put Eckler in your lineup. Elijah Mitchell is questionable. I wouldn't start anyone behind Christian McCaffrey if you're that needing a running back. Deebo Samuel is questionable, so that kind of just upticks George Kittle. Jeff took his van. That's awesome. And he left. And that's about all the big injuries this week. Other than the ones you already know about, just look at your roster designations and see if anyone's doubtful. Don't even worry about putting them in your lineup. It's rare that they outscore their projected points when they're doubtful, and just roll with some of those options, pivoting options that you picked up this week. Another good one probably is, another pivoting option is probably like Josh Downs or, Tajay Spears could be potentially started based on Derrick Henry being low touches. So just be aware of some of your pivots and what you're going to do. And then also just throwing out there Joshua Palmer and Quentin Johnston. Whoever gets the highest amount of thrown to targets, I would just monitor that so that way you know who to drop this upcoming week. Alrighty. Have a good one. Good luck, everybody.